you hear people say, well, there's chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I feel chemistry
Right.
with him, or the
Right.
chemistry is so hot, right? And that really is a true thing, because when chemistry is ignited in the body, it's actually like this cocktail of hormones that get whipped up together and they course through your bloodstream, through your body. And we love chemistry. We're searching for chemistry. Everybody loves when they feel that chemistry, but chemistry doesn't last forever.
Welcome to Bring Out the Best with Daniele Hage. I'm your host, Daniele Hage, and Daniele is my mother-in-law and Nini to my 3 girls at home. Daniele is pastor, speaker, and founder of Dynamic Traits. She has 40 years experience in marriage and family relationships. So today we're talking about the profound effects of attraction, which I have no idea what that means. So I'm excited just to sit back, drink my coffee, and learn from you today.
Okay. Well, if women really want to understand men, we need to understand how attraction affects them, and really how it affects both men and women. But there's definitely 2 different types of attraction. One will get you attention. The other one will get you affection. But women think, well, if I can get his attention, then I'll get the affection that I need. But that is not necessarily true. A lot of women get a lot of attention, get asked out on dates by men, but I'll hear them say it's a first date, but there's never a second date. There's never anything long lasting.
Yeah.
That is because of the effects of attraction that I'm going to tell you about. Okay, so the first type of attraction is sexual or physical attraction. Same thing, sexual, physical, same thing. The second type is emotional attraction. Okay. So first we're going to start with the physical. Yeah. This kind of attraction.
Of course. Let's
yes,
start there.
The physical, the sexual. This is actually based in our human animal, in our instinct. Okay. Not in, each person has that natural man side, and then we have our spirit man side, right? So physical attraction is based in the natural man, the human animal side of us. All right. So, let's see, where do I start? Well, let me tell you a little bit about both those sides. So the human animal side of us, this is where our instincts come from, okay? And our instincts, all they care about is us being alive. Yeah. Instincts are they care about us breathing. Mm-hmm. Instincts do not care about your quality of life. Right. Okay. The quality of life, that comes from your human spirit side. So human spirit is where, we make a choice, we make a decision. Human animal is kind of autopilot. It's our knee-jerk reaction to certain things.
Fight or flight.
Yes. Yeah. So exactly. Mm-hmm. So, and again, it's all about survival. Human instinct is all about just surviving. The spirit side of us is where we're going to find that love, peace, joy, kindness, faithfulness, basically the fruits of the spirit. Yeah. On the human animal side, we'll experience all the yucky stuff, jealousy, competition, vengeance. So it's it's whatever it takes to keep that survival instinct alive, right? Procreation, protection, provision. So again, human spirit is all about us. It's like we are not animals, and we do have a mind, and we can choose. Right. Okay. Right. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Okay. I'm going to tell you the 4 causes of sexual attraction in a man toward a woman. And they're probably things that you would not normally think of. Okay.
So this is when what attracts a man to a woman?
What attracts a man to a woman. Okay. And I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to name 4 of them, but I'm going to start with the least potent one, which is number 4. Okay. So it is shiny hair. Isn't that? I know, right? That's what people do. They start laughing.
Oh my gosh, when I wear it back in a ponytail after working out, it's so shiny.
Right. Why do you think there's so many shiny hair products in the stores?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody wants to have shiny hair, and people don't even realize why. But there's actually, shiny hair is an indicator of health. Yeah. It's an indicator that there's enough fat in a woman's body to be healthy, to actually procreate, to make a baby, to get pregnant.
It's there for something.
It's there for something. Yeah. So, but men will say, and men don't even realize that. Right. But I will tease men if a man, one time, this older man, good friend of ours, said, Daniele, your hair's so shiny today. I said, are you sexually attracted to me? And he was so embarrassed. And my husband was there, his wife was there, and we just fell out laughing because men don't even they don't even understand. They're attracted to shiny hair. They don't even know why. All right, but men will say they will have sex with a woman even if her hair is dull and dry.
Okay, so you've interviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of men in your 40 years of research.
Yeah.
So do you find that most men are attracted to women with longer hair?
I think it depends.
Okay.
I know so many men that love short hair in women.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends. There's, they'll say, blondes have more fun. Lots of men like blonde, but there are some men are like, take a brunette or a redhead over a blonde any day. So I really just think
length doesn't really matter.
I don't think length matters.
Unless you're in Texas where they want the big hair, the big curls, but the shininess. Okay, they're attracted to shiny hair. Yeah. Great.
Okay, so
that on my Amazon list.
There you go. So the second thing that causes sexual attraction in a man is, of course, a shapely body. But here's the thing. Women kind of rip themselves off thinking that the only curves or shapes on a woman that a man is attracted to are those that we find on Malibu Barbie. Okay. And that is just the furthest thing from the truth. It really is. Because every man likes different types of curves on women. Yeah. In fact, when I do my seminars and I have a panel of men there and I say, what's your favorite curve on a woman's body? Yeah. And at first they get kind of embarrassed, but they always use their hands to describe it. And they'll say, stuff like I had never known this. One man said that when a woman is laying flat on her stomach, that little curve in the small of her back, like those little dimples, is really physically attractive to him. Yeah. Some men will say the nape of a woman's neck when a woman wears her hair up. Yeah. That is sexy. I've heard men say the calf on a woman. I mean, they name all kinds of things. They'll say the smile on a woman. I mean, they say all kinds of different things. I just think it's cute.
And thanks to Kardashians, the booty.
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's always attractive. But like for some men, again, every man has a different opinion. It just depends on the man.
So we shouldn't shy away from our curves.
No. You should accept your curves and make the best out of what you got. Absolutely. But there's something about a woman's bust size in ratio to her waist, in ratio to her hips, because a flatter stomach says that she's not pregnant. And again, this seems really primitive, kind of goes back to like cavemen days. Yeah, but for, back in those days, they didn't have 80 years, of life. I mean, they were dead by 20. So they had to find somebody, kind of early in life. And if a woman was small through the waist, it said that she wasn't already pregnant and she was available to be able to procreate, right?
Okay.
All right. And then the next one is a woman's sensuality. That is when a woman is finding pleasure that her senses provide to her. Okay. So say you're taking a bite of dark chocolate. Okay. And you're savoring that chocolate in your mouth. When you're doing that, you're actually being sensual. Yeah. When you take a strawberry in your mouth and you're just really enjoying the flavor of it. Yeah. When you're listening to music and you're enjoying and you start swaying to the music, or you're overlooking, a sunset and you're just enjoying it. That's sensuality. But a lot of times women have a hard time pulling off sensuality because we're so multitasking that we never slow down to appreciate the taste and the feel and the sight and the sound, right? We're just always so busy. So for women, we need to slow down, smell the cappuccino, enjoy the feel of a cashmere sweater. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And enjoy that sip of wine.
Exactly. Because when you're doing that actually is you're giving off a sensual vibe, so to speak. And then the fourth thing, which is probably the number one thing, is sexual energy. And women put out sexual energy when they want to put out. Okay? when they're in the mood, they're feeling feisty, frisky, sexy. They'll move in a way. They'll give eye contact to a man in a certain way. You could be sitting in a restaurant. What?
Brush aside him, or
exactly
sit a little closer.
You could be sitting in a crowded restaurant or club or gym or whatever, and you can see a guy that you find attractive, and you can just smile at him. You don't ever have to say a word. You can just look at him, smile, don't turn away, count to 5, and then you can turn away, and you will find he will be by your side within 30 seconds. He will come up to you because you just gave him permission
Yeah.
with that smile
Mhm.
that you're interested, that you're open. You're open to him coming to say hi. Now, you might not want to smile at some guy you meet in a dark alley, but if you're single and you want to attract a man, that's one of the signals, one of the cues you're putting out saying, it's okay, you're welcome
Yeah.
to come and
talk to me.
approach me,
Right.
basically. So let's talk about emotional attraction. Okay, so emotional attraction is when you will know that a man is emotionally attracted to you when he is single focused on you. Okay, there are no other distractions. When a man is sexually attracted and emotionally attracted, he can't get his mind off of you. He will, again, go out of his way to make you happier. Again, it's not a man's responsibility to make us happy. We
Right.
need to be happy already in and of ourselves. But a man holds himself accountable to make us happy, to make women happy. But really, it's what does he bring to the table that's going to make us happier? Okay. We already got to be happy, but what does he bring that makes us happier? And so if he is emotionally attracted to you, this is where he is going to put your needs above his own. It's where he wants to make your dreams come true. He'll go out of his way to do that. He wants to provide for you. He wants to spend time with you. If he's just sexually attracted, he really just wants to have sex with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to spend his time trying to find a way to get into your pants. But if he's emotionally attracted, he's going to want to have those long conversations.
Right.
He's going to want to date you and take you where you want to go. A man who's just sexually attracted just wants to get you in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of how a woman can understand or know how a man is feeling about her. If sex is all he wants to talk about and that's the only thing on his mind, then there's not an emotional attraction.
Is there a way to develop that emotional attraction? You know, if the initial attraction between a man and a woman is the sexual attraction.
One of the things that causes emotional attraction in a man toward a woman is a woman who's authentic.
Yeah.
She's her most authentic self. She is just who she is. She's not trying to be someone she thinks she needs to be for him.
Right.
She's just herself. And because when she's authentic and transparent, which makes her vulnerable, by the way, then he can be his most authentic self. Another thing that causes that kind of attraction in a man is a woman who's passionate about something.
Yeah.
That, there's actually research that's been done that they say when a woman is talking about something she's excited about, that she's truly passionate about, it actually releases a well-being hormone in the man. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. So when you're find out what you're passionate about, ladies,
right.
and talk about it. And you will talk about it because you're excited about it. Yeah. It makes you happy. And you know what? Men being around happy women causes that emotional attraction in them.
So do you think if there's that emotional attraction there in the beginning, can the sexual attraction, maybe the sexual spark isn't there right away, but can you grow into that because of the emotional attraction?
I think what I have learned is that attraction grows on women, but not so much men.
Gotcha.
Okay. So like, you've heard it said that women, they don't have to have the best looking man in the room, but they have to have that emotional attraction toward them. But for a man has his type. He usually has a type of woman that he's interested in. Right. She has a certain type of body, maybe a certain hair color. They have their type, and they say whoever they are, that that kind of sexual attraction doesn't necessarily grow. But if he's first sexually attracted and he gets to know her, and she turns out to be a total bitch, I mean, it's going to kill it. It's going to kill that, even that sexual attraction.
Right.
But if he's sexually attracted and gets to know her, and then that emotional attraction also develops, then of course it's going to grow the sexual attraction.
Right.
They'll grow hand in hand.
Okay.
Another thing that causes emotional attraction in a man is a woman's confidence.
Yeah.
Just the way she carries herself, the way she walks into the room, the fact that she likes herself and she's comfortable with herself. Again, that's the queen, remember. But men, when I ask men, what do you find irresistible in women? So many times they'll say a woman's confidence.
Yeah.
And a woman being confident doesn't mean that she's confident in every single area of her life.
Right.
But a confident woman can say, I feel a little insecure in this area.
Right.
But I feel good about myself in this area. Because let's face it, we can't be confident in every single area.
Yeah.
I might be pretty confident in public speaking, but I might be really insecure about my cooking. Right?
Yes.
So it just kind of depends. But being Amen. But being honest about it. And again, that's you being authentic.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean we have to pretend to be
Right.
confident
Yeah.
in every area of our lives.
I think when my husband and I are at our best, we can describe it as I feel like he's my number one cheerleader and he will want to
Right.
support and be a part of anything that I'm passionate and, really gung ho about.
Yeah.
And when we're probably not at our best, it's when I'm not feeling confident. I don't have a lot going on for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not happy
Right.
with where I'm
In
at
yourself,
or
yes.
my inability kind of, but he really does. That sexual attraction and that emotional attraction is heightened when we're both feeling good, when
Right.
we're both pursuing something and that passion is there.
Right. Yeah. So, and I think when people are sexually attracted, the reason for that is because you hear people say, there's chemistry. I feel
Mhm.
chemistry
Right.
with him, or the
Right.
chemistry is so hot, right? And that really is a true thing, because when chemistry is ignited in the body, it's actually like this cocktail of hormones that get whipped up together and they course through your bloodstream, through your body. And we love
Mhm.
chemistry. We're searching for chemistry. Everybody loves when they feel that chemistry, but chemistry doesn't last forever. Okay. And too much chemistry for a woman makes her stupid. It makes her do stupid things.
Like
it makes her
what?
do things that she would never normally do.
Okay.
So when she's feeling that chemistry,
Yeah.
what it does is it puts a woman in, I got to have it mode.
Mhm.
I got to get it mode. And so she might not come across as her most feminine self, because it
Right.
kind of puts her in masculine energy where
Okay.
I've got to nail him down. I got to get him. He's got to be mine.
Mhm.
And she might do things that she would not normally do. Too much chemistry, number one, it causes her not to be herself. It may cause her to talk way too much out of nervous energy. I always tell women that if you are overly attracted to a man, run the opposite direction, because you won't be yourself.
Gotcha.
And he'll never see the real you.
Yeah.
And usually high chemistry relationships don't last very long. They're usually short term, because let's face it, chemistry doesn't last forever. Right? And we can't manufacture it. We can't make it happen.
Yeah.
And the other thing to know about chemistry is you're going to have chemistry with more than one person.
Right.
So what do you do with that? You're married now. But yet I have chemistry. I just met this guy and oh my gosh, there's chemistry.
Mhm.
Well, this is where you have to have, because again, you're not an animal. We're not working out of instinct in these days. We don't have to have a man and have sex for our survival, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is where you have to rely on your human spirit side of you and make the right choices. I can't be alone with him. I can't spend too much time with him because there's chemistry, but I'm not going to take action on it. We all have the self-control to be able to do that. But I think one of the myths of marriage is that once you get married, you will never have chemistry with another person. No other person will ever be good looking to you. And that is simply not true.
Right.
I mean, you can't
and to expect that of your husband too.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Because how many times have we been like, who are you looking at? What were
Right.
you looking at? Why did you look at her walking by?
Exactly. And you can't help who you're attracted to.
Right.
We don't have any control over that. Again,
Mhm.
chemistry is not manufactured. It comes and it goes. But
Right.
just know, if you're already married, you're still going to have chemistry with other
Yeah.
people. And you can enjoy their company, but you just have to put some good boundaries in place, because you don't want to mess up.
Right.
You don't want to mess up and get carried away.
Okay, so for a single woman
Yeah.
who's dating, I've experienced it or have had friends who give it up right away.
Right.
They give into that sexual attraction right away, and then all of a sudden the relationship, either there's no second date, he doesn't call, so what is there to that? And then does it diminish a man's sexual attraction if you do put those boundaries in place and you don't let
Sleep
him
with
into
them.
your
Mhm.
pants?
Yeah.
And how does that actually help
Yeah.
develop a relationship,
Well,
or does it?
For women, they need to be really careful and be very aware of the types of attraction, because she's the one that's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Because women really don't, when it comes to sex causes women to become emotionally attached.
Right.
It causes them to bond,
Right.
but sex doesn't cause a man to bond.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what it is. If you let him in too soon and you don't even know, and if he's only sexually attracted,
Yeah.
then the relationship is over because he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
But if you're going to keep putting out, he may keep coming back for it, but you're not going to get what
The
you
emotional
need.
attraction.
The emotional.
Yeah.
And for most women, they don't. Well, I don't know. These days, you see a lot of women who don't mind just having a sex buddy. They want to be single. They want to have their jobs, but they want someone to have sex with. And if that's all you're looking for, and you find a man that is in agreement with
that ends up affecting some of the other things we've talked about on the podcast of developing the queen and having these feminine forms of energy.
Right.
If you are just always going for sex.
Yeah. Well, see, and it just depends on what you want. When I sat down with a woman the other day, and she was probably in her 50s, beautiful, beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. And she had a man friend there. She was not dating. And I think my husband was there. And the friend, the man, was saying, you need to talk to her because she's dating some guy that's way, way younger than her, like in his 30s, and she's 50. Mm-hmm. And she's gorgeous, okay? Yeah. And so he goes, you need to tell her that is never going to work. And I look over at her and I said,
good for her.
Well, what do you want?
Yeah, yes.
What do you want?
Okay.
Do you want a long-term relationship?
Yeah.
Do you want to be married? Or do you just want to have fun and play? Because the 25-year-old's going to have fun and play with you. But if you want a long-lasting relationship, I seriously doubt the 25-year-old is thinking marriage with a 50-year-old woman that cannot bear children, right? Yeah. So I just looked at her and said, what is it that you want? And she sat there kind of dumbstruck, and she said, well, I have to think about that. I mean, I really enjoy him, but yeah, that's not going to be anything lasting. Okay. So are you going to spend all your time and all your energy? Is that a waste of your time?
Yeah.
You're 15, you're dating a 25-year-old?
Yeah.
So for a woman, you have to decide on what you want.
Yeah.
If you want a marriage relationship, a monogamous relationship, someone that's going to be there and have your back and support you and you him for long term, then I would say if you're dating, do not put out. And, I'll quote Steve Harvey because he wrote a book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Woman. Yeah. I thought it was excellent.
Right.
And he says, it's just like if you get a job in a company, they don't give you all the health insurance and the raises and promotions right off. They test you out for 3 months before they start giving you the perks, right? Mm-hmm. And so if, IBM does that, why would you have sex with a man within the first 3 months of getting to know him? Because it's going to take a little while for you to know, is there more to just sex here? Is he more than just sexually attracted to me? That's going to take some time to find out. Yeah. So I like what Steve Harvey says. I say you wait at least 3 months. And, and if you're a Christian and you're a God-fearing person, you're trying to do what the Bible says, keep your legs closed. If you want to be married, keep your legs closed. Because
we shouldn't fear that sexual attraction is going to go away.
Yeah. No. I've asked men when I interview men, and this one guy, he was so good looking and young, single, and he was probably in his 30s, and he dated a good looking athletic guy. And I asked him, I said, so what makes a woman worth a second date? And I loved his answer. He didn't have to think about it. He just popped up. He said, her not putting out on the first date.
Yeah.
And I thought, this guy could probably have anything he wants. Mm-hmm. But he respected that in a woman that doesn't just give it up. Like, make them earn it. A man loves the chase. He loves the pursuit. If you give it up easily, men are created to conquer and divide. If you give it up that easy, it's like, okay, that was easy, next. Mm-hmm. And if she was that easy for me, who else is she sleeping with? And a man who's looking for a wife, who's looking for a mother for his children, he wants a woman that has some virtue in her that she maybe not going to give it away so quickly. Right. And will challenge him to respect her and to get to know her. That would be, and men love a challenge. They love a good challenge.
So what are some environments that are great to put yourselves in? I think we're very much, especially those who are dating and single, very much in a go out for cocktails, go out for happy hour, and we're putting ourselves or at that time in situations where there is just the opportunity for sexual attraction and to have a lot of drinks and, end up letting the night slip away. What are some good environments to put yourself in if you really are a woman who wants to be married, have a husband, date with a purpose, and let that emotional attraction increase as well as the
Yeah.
sexual attraction, but not just be about the sexual attraction,
Right,
if that
right.
makes sense.
Well, I think if you want to find someone that you have things in common with, put yourself in environments where you're doing things that you love to do, like golfing, playing tennis, going to the gym, dancing. I mean, it doesn't always have to be meet at a bar. And
Yeah.
I always tell women, you be very alcohol does not always have to be involved.
Right.
Be very careful because it might make you relax, but a woman that over drinks, men will say that is not attractive to men
Right.
unless he is only sexually attracted
Right.
and wants to get into your pants, and then
Right.
he's going to want you to drink
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
your defenses will be down,
Yeah.
right? And so I tell women, alcohol clouds your judgment.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a man, someone to be that you want to have his children with, that you want to spend your life with, you don't want clouded judgment when you're meeting
Right.
them. You want to really get to know them and have good conversations. So I would say be very careful
Yeah.
as far as the alcohol is involved. And there's so many different fun things you can do.
Right.
It doesn't have to necessarily be a bar or
Yeah.
even a nice dinner.
Which
it could
after you
be
get married, that's not real life anyway.
Right.
And have kids. I mean,
Right.
we're more likely to go to Top Golf or
yeah,
do
yeah.
something fun and
And
adventurous.
there's so many nowadays. There's so many like meetup groups that are surrounded. They meet up in the things that they have in common, like pickleball. Like I'm a avid pickleball player, and if I were single, I would think this would be a great place for singles to meet.
Somebody.
A great place for singles to meet. You're doing something that has activity. It's fun. It's kind of silly, a little bit competitive. You can talk, and get to know each other, and and have a drink after or during or coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you just got to be creative.
Okay.
Find the things that you like to do and go to the places where they're doing those things.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked a lot about singlehood, which we're not single. We've both been married. You've been married for 42 years.
Yeah.
I've been married for 12 years.
Most of my life.
So even in a marriage relationship, how do you keep these attractions sparked and healthy?
Yes, because you especially, it's easy when you're single and you're dating. That's the easy part. The real love, the real commitment, the real relationship starts after all that kind of fades away, right? So that's where, again, love is a behavior. Love is a choice. Love is your will.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a feeling. I remember when I met my husband and we were dating, and oh my gosh, it happened really fast. At first, I wasn't attracted to him at all. I didn't think he was my type at all. But because physically I wasn't attracted, but the more I got to know him and was around him, the emotional attraction kicked in.
Right.
And then once the emotional attraction kicked in, he became so handsome to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. It kind of grows on women.
Yes.
All of a sudden, I couldn't get enough of him. I thought he was
Yeah.
the cutest thing. I loved his smile. I loved his arms. I loved his chest. I mean, it's like it all came together.
Mm-hmm.
And then that in love, infatuation feeling started to wear off in about, I would say, 3 or 4 months of us dating. And I said, I'm going to break up with you. I'm not in love. I don't feel it anymore.
I've fallen out of love.
I've fallen out of love. And he said to me, and I was young. I was all of 18 years old, and I had
Mhm.
never been taught much about love.
Yeah.
And he says to me, and he was a little bit older than me, and he said, well, love isn't a feeling.
Wow.
I go, what? I'd never heard that before. I said, what do you mean if it's not a feeling? If I'm not feeling it, that means I don't love you. And
Yeah.
he said, no. Love is a choice.
Wow.
He said, do you think after 10, 20 years of marriage, you're going to wake up every day feeling completely in love with a person?
But that's how it is in the movies and on all these shows we
That's
watch.
what the romance
Yeah,
novels,
right.
don't say, right? And he made sense. And I
Mhm.
thought, yeah, probably not. And he said, that's why you have to choose to love someone.
Mhm.
And I said, so are you saying at 18 years old, I need to choose to love you for the rest of my life? He said, yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I'm not ready to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
ready. So I broke up with him anyway.
Mm.
And about 2 weeks went by. And then I decided I missed him. And he was working graveyard at that time. So I knew he was asleep because it was daytime. And he left his bedroom window open in his apartment. And it was, thank God it was on the first floor. And I crawled through his window.
Oh my gosh.
And he was in shock because I hadn't seen him in 2 weeks. And I was like, yeah, I think maybe I changed my mind. I didn't know what I was doing. But
Let's see if that sexual
18 months.
attraction is still there.
18 months later, we were married. And we've been going all along. So I'm going to say this on that note. Even if for women, because we were talking about chemistry.
Yeah.
If you have a high level of chemistry with someone, turn around, go the other way.
Okay.
Take a chance on the men that you have a little bit lower level of chemistry with. The ones that you feel like are always attracted to you, but you're never attracted to them. And that's the question women ask is, why are the guys that are just love me, I'm not attracted to them?
Yeah.
Well, give them a chance, because that best friend guy probably would make very good marriage material once you let him in a little bit and start allowing the attraction to develop between you. Because the reason he's your best friend, the reason he's so attracted to you is because you are so your authentic self with him, because you're not attracted to him.
Wow.
So you're just you. You say whatever. You're not trying to win him over. You're just being you. And being you is very attractive.
Yeah.
So take a chance on the guys where you have a level of like a 5, 6, or 7 level of chemistry, not a 10 or 11, but on a scale of 0 to 10, you have a 5, 6, or 7. He maybe not be, who are the guys we see on TV? The David Beckhams or the Brad Pitts or Tom Cruise. I don't know, whatever.
Chris Hemsworth.
Whatever. Yes, Chris Hemsworth. Whatever guy you're really attracted to, take it down a notch. And because for women, the guys that are they're okay. They're cute.
Yeah.
They're not super hot, sexy, but they're cute. If you get to know them, that sexual attraction will grow on a woman for sure. So it did for me. And I know that because it did for me. It did for my daughter, Courtney. She was not attracted to the guy she married. It just wasn't her type. Then she started hanging around him, got to know him, his sense of humor, his personality. He just started to win her over. And she was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But she was never attracted to him until emotionally she became attracted. And then all of a sudden she thought he was really hot.
Yeah.
Right?
So do you think it really does work being friends first?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's how my husband and I, we were friends for so long.
You guys worked together, right?
We worked together.
You developed a friendship.
Dating other people.
Yeah.
And then we developed a really good friendship and working relationship, which worked for our marriage. We worked together for over a decade. And I would say, especially for me, the attraction came, later as we developed our friendship and that emotional connection.
Right. Exactly. I think that is exactly how it works. And when you're dating someone, maybe it's a first date, if there's something there, it should be easy.
Yeah.
You should have lots of laughs. It should be fun. It should be easy, because if you have to think about what to talk about and you just, there's no flow, that is probably because there's not a compatibility there. Yeah. So like with my husband and I, we could not stop talking.
Yeah.
Like hours would go by. We'd be in conversation and be like, oh my gosh, I have to get to work. Or, oh my gosh, I got to go to bed. I've got work in the morning. And we would talk from 4 p.m. to midnight, and we couldn't believe how did 6 hours fly by? But we had so much to say. And again, because I wasn't initially attracted to him, I felt so comfortable with him. I felt safe with him. I wanted to be myself. I wanted him to know everything about me. So it got me talking because I wasn't afraid to share. I wasn't holding anything back. And because I was being so honest and authentic, it drew him to me even more. And this is before I even thought could be anything between us.
Right.
So I just think that's a thing to look for. If it's easy, it's fun.
Yeah.
When you leave their presence, you like who you are. If every time you leave their presence, you don't like who you are,
right. That's good.
That's a red flag. If you don't feel good about yourself, that's a red flag. So when he's pulling on the best version of you, that's a good sign.
And interested,
showing interest in things that you're interested in, makes you laugh, has a sense of humor. That's one of the things that causes a woman to fall in love, or it ignites the chemistry and the attraction in a woman toward a man, is a sense of humor, because a good sense of humor and wittiness is a sign of intelligence. Yeah. And then does he have your sense of humor? Because there's different types of humor, right? And like my husband, he's like a comedian. Oh my gosh, I could not. He still to this day, 42 years later, I'm still laughing at him. And
Yeah.
he thinks I'm funny. I don't know why, because I'm not that funny, but he thinks I'm hilarious. So our humor, our types of humor actually connect. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. I think too, reflecting back on when Christian and I were dating, is I felt safe with him.
That's huge.
And that was very attractive to me. So maybe I had dated guys before that I was sexually attracted to, but I never felt safe like I did with Christian. I remember
Wow.
the very first date that we finally went to dinner, and this is after a friendship had developed, and he took care of everything. He took care of the car, the valet.
He was the man.
He
was the
paid
masculine.
for dinner, and very respectful as we left and went home and took
Treated
me
you
home.
like a girl.
Yes, yes. And I just remember feeling, I underrated feeling safe and protected
Wow.
and provided for.
Wow.
I never knew that those qualities were going to be so attractive
So important.
in a man,
Yes.
and I had never placed that much emphasis on it before.
Huh. Wow. Yeah, the number one thing that causes attraction in a woman toward a man is safety.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that makes her feel safe, there's a couple things that lead to that, is
Yeah.
when she feels heard,
Okay.
when she feels seen,
Yeah.
when he's paying attention, when he notices things about her,
Yeah.
just and then tells you, oh, I noticed when I call you, or your first reaction is, or I noticed that you smile like this, or like he
Yeah.
notices little
Oh, yeah.
certain
Yes.
personal
I remember
things
he
about
took
you.
out his phone. This was like the second or third date. He took out his phone and he had like notes on me.
Oh my
like I
gosh.
said something like, oh, this is my favorite dessert. I love, whatever. And he made a little bit of a note of it in his phone.
That's
so after the first
huge.
date, I thought, even if I don't marry him, because at that time I wasn't yet maybe completely sexually attracted to him,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I'm going to marry somebody like that. That's
Right.
new to me.
Yeah.
And this makes me
Wow.
feel safe. And then after he started paying attention to those little things, or the looks he would give me, I could walk into a crowded room. And again, we had been working together for several years. I could walk into a crowded room and he be busy with everything, but he looks at me, that glimmer in his eye, the wink he always gives me when I walk into the room. And I thought, okay.
You could tell he was
notices
excited
me. He
you were
hears
there.
me. Yes. And that made the attraction grow. So I think some of those things that we don't
take for granted,
yes,
or
take
don't
for granted,
yeah.
minor on.
Right.
Those are really the things.
So other guys you had dated didn't treat you like that? They weren't treating you like the girl or opening your door?
I don't think I had the tools of this information, of
Mhm.
developing the emotional relationship and developing the emotional attraction. And it came a lot out of fear. If they are sexually attracted to me and I don't give into their
that.
needs or
Whoa,
wants,
yes.
then they're not going to want me
Right.
again. So
Right. And I think so many
gotta
young
keep it on
girls
side.
think that way. That
Right.
if I'm going to land a man,
Yeah,
I have
gotta
to give
keep
him my
hooking them
body.
in and hooking them in.
Mhm. Yeah, and you don't,
So,
girls. You don't
yeah.
have to give him your
Yeah.
body. The kind of guy you want will wait. Let me just
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
And I've asked men that question. What does it mean to you if you date a girl you're really, really into, but she's wants to wait to marriage to have sex? And I've heard more than one man say, if I'm really into her, she'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, we've talked about so much
So
today.
many things.
Sexual
Yes.
attraction, emotional attraction.
Yes.
We've talked about what that looks like in singlehood. We've talked about what that looks like in a marriage and how to really ignite those
Right,
in
keep it
every
alive.
stage of life and
Mhm.
keep those alive. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for all of that information
Yeah,
today. I
so
can't wait to
fun.
re-listen to this over and over again just to help ignite that in my relationship. So thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you like this down below. It helps us when you leave a comment. We read your questions. We want to answer those
Yes.
questions. So subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when a new episode comes out, because we'll bring them to you as often as we can. And make sure you check out Daniele on Instagram and Facebook at Daniele Hage. That's DanieleHage. Thanks for joining us today.